March 22nd, we intubated our first COVID patient.
We were watching what was happening in different cities in New York, and we were trying to get ready.
I remember not having any idea what to expect.
Going back to those first few months of the pandemic, I think like most healthcare workers were kind of worried.
When the first main surge happened, and we had to sometimes float down to the COVID unit, it was definitely overwhelming for sure.
The rules changed every day as we were constantly adapting to what protocol we were going to use to take care of the patients.
As the news started to increase, you got more and more people that had symptoms. People were slowly starting to get hospitalized. You started hearing the news of actually now people dying at that point. So yeah, I got really real fast, and but once I personally myself caught COVID, then that's when it really became real.
What we had to look at was the planning for the fatality management. It's definitely not something that you would like the plan for.
In the beginning, we literally transformed the ER overnight. We had tarps up, we had new walls put up. It was truly amazing. And as we started splitting it apart, Jeff actually came up with this idea of using purple, orange, and green because those are MemorialCare colors.
When we got called one night, we went inside this, what's called a purple zone unit, and this patient was actually just admitted. And you can definitely see that the patient was working hard to breathe. On the busiest day, I remember running, trying to just keep up with the flow, patients coming in, just one after the other being sick.
So I think the hardest thing was the amount of death that we saw. We didn't become nurses to see people die like that.
I mean, there was a patient who passed that, was younger, and it was just, I had heard a bit about their life when I had cared for them, and then I found out a few days later they had passed. It's not a reality that I had to have before.
The hardest moment for me personally and my team was the loss of our doc. He was a selfless man who he was like a mentor.
Everybody was stepping up, helping where they could. People were like, hey, if you need me to work overtime, I'll work overtime, just let me know. Everybody banded together.
Mostly I really just wanted to help, any way that I could. And in pediatrics, we weren't having that many patients, so I kind of jumped at the opportunity to help out on the adult side. And I wanted to be able to help, those adult ICU nurses who are so overwhelmed.
This was kind of a reminder what gets me to go to work every day. To me, this is why we're here. This is really why we're in medicine, right? Is to take care of people when they're sick.
There was a patient, and the nurse said, Dion, the family brought food for the patient. So I ran downstairs to get the food. Well, it wasn't for him, it was for our unit. And there were boxes of stuff to feed the staff just to say thank you.
Thank you to our community for their support, for their acts of kindness and generosity.
Right now I have a lot of hope based on people getting vaccinated, things being so much better than they were right now.
The fact that we're finally getting vaccines and getting people vaccinated, I think is going to give everybody, hope in the future that we're going to beat this thing.
The knowledge that now that we've been through this as a group, as a team, we know what we can do now, and that the next challenge may not be so scary, that we can handle what comes our way together.